we're at this point in the story now. You and your husband and your legally adopted daughter are hiding out. You've got a Christian enclave in the midst of an area that is populated by those that are devoted to radical Islam. You're in the midst of it all. You're trusting God. So how do you fight for your daughter while still allowing the Lord to fight your battle? Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's a great question, because we had to literally, you know what we were fighting with? We were fighting with the promises of God. And on the front cover of my book, I'm holding a sword, and it's
so that's you. That's you on the cover.
No, that's
not you. Okay,
that's somebody they put together.
Okay,
but I'm holding a sword.
A representative of you.
Yes, and that sword is the sword of truth. That is the word of God that we were holding on to, the promises. One little part that happens in our story is a person who had encouraged me in Franklin, Tennessee at a meeting pulled me up and gave me a word of encouragement. When we landed in Ethiopia, he walks out of the elevator and he walks over to me. Yeah. So that's where we were like, okay, there's a reason. He had just been with Heidi Baker, working with her down in Mozambique and Uganda. And he walked over and said, "Are you stuck here from Hurricane Sandy?" I said, "No, we just flew in to rescue our daughter." He begins to pray over us, and his prayer literally said, "Lord, I just ask you for favor in this situation. I see favor walking before you, and I just believe that God's going to give you favor." And I started laughing.
That's great.
Yeah,
yep.
Because I said,
because
"Did I tell you?"
Name.
Yeah, I said, "That's my daughter's name," and he's just like, "That's awesome. That's our God. That is our God."
So how do things resolve themselves? What happens?
Well, we had to continue going in and out of Addis Ababa. And every day we would have to drive through the Mercado a fruit district, which I had been warned, do not go in this area. It is very dangerous. So we would go in, we would stand before the judge, we would present our case. And I tell you what, we had you'll love this, because our lawyer's name meant he who fights for the orphan and homeless.
That's great. How'd you find your lawyer?
That was a God thing too.
Of course. He's got this.
He put everything, he went before us.
Yeah.
When it says he goes before you, it's true. He goes before you.
And obviously you and your daughter and your husband got out of Ethiopia.
We were able to win our court case and prove that we were innocent of all human traffic charges. The judge told us later she did not believe that we for a moment were human traffickers. But she had to figure out what was happening to all these children. And the beautiful thing that happened is because we won our case, several other kids were released from this false foster care and able to join their family, forever families in America.
So there is a sense, as I understand it, of justice that you want to bring about for these children that are, if I can say it like this, that are going missing in Ethiopia. They are being taken from orphanages and they are being placed in, air quotes here, foster care, which is really a guise ultimately for human trafficking.
It really is, for the most part. Now, there are some wonderful places that we work with in Ethiopia that they actually have a home where the children are fed, they get educated. That's the key. They're getting an education, not just fed and clothed. They're getting an education.
So you're continuing to do work in Ethiopia?
Yes.
You didn't want to stay away forever as a result of these terrible experiences
No,
there.
we really want to go in and impact, because Ethiopia has been closed to adoption now. So we really have a job on our hand to see where are these children going that are being targeted for this horrible thing.